Okay, just making a short video on how to do the Pro Tools project. I created a project that's just one tune that I recorded for a record. Jeremy Hugh Williams singing and Dan Linder on piano. It's from our compositional faculty, Daniel Asia. So what you're seeing here, there are 5 takes of this tune called God's Hand. And then we have some what we call inserts over here. And you can see the memory locations down here. It says an insert at 50 to 71, take 1, and then 2 inserts of 17 to 31. And then this is the edit that I made. So your task is to re-edit the same edit points that I made. So if you go to this marker, which brings you over here on the timeline, you just click over here, you can see that this playhead moves here. You see that cursor flashing right there. The Pro Tools Zoom command, it can be one of 2 things, but the one that always works, if you hold down the command key and then you press the right bracket button, which is just down from the delete button over 1. You hit that and you can zoom in, and it centers it on the screen, as you can see there. And then you hit the left bracket and you zoom out. If this isn't selected, then you can use the R and T keys on the keyboard, and that'll do the same thing. So if this appears selected, then you can use those keys and you don't have to hold down another key. All right, so let's look at what I did here. We're going to zoom in some more so I can see this number right here. So the first piece of music I used was labeled 69, and then this is just sort of a subdivision. So 69 is the take number that we want to find in the original takes. So let's zoom out and see if we can find it. Well, here it is over here, 69. See, it says 69 right there. So we know that I started with take 5. And you can see it's a pretty small little chunk here. One thing that's really helpful, of course, is to use the waveforms as guides. So you can see that this chunk starts right here, and then it goes just beyond this point right here. And there's a particular chord that it ends on. So let's take a listen to that. I'm going to click where the transition to the next section is, zoom in, and then you can see there's a chord there that's going to be cutting to the new piece of audio. So that's the chord we're going to cut out on. So we're going to go up to that chord with the first section. So let's go over here on take 5 and do that. So we're going to zoom in. First of all, we're going to cut the slate out, which is up here at the front. So I'm going to move my cursor, my playhead in front of the first sound here. And I'd like to, leave about a second or so of time before the playhead hits the audio. So you click down here, you get the I-beam tool. This is the smart tool on Pro Tools. So you see down here, you can have the grab tool. You move up here, you got the I-beam tool. And if you move over here, you got different tools like the edge edit tool. This is because these 3 buttons are pressed. So when you have all 3 of these pressed, you have this smart tool where it switches between all 3 of these things. So anyway, I got my flashing cursor here. That's where it's going to edit. It's going to happen. And the command to split it at that point is hold down the command key and press E as an edit. And now you can see it creates a new region here, and it's calling it 12. So it's 6912 now. So that's the beginning point. And if you remember, we have that chord that is the out point. And I think that may be... No, it's earlier than that. So let's go revisit the actual edit point. Go back to the edit. And so there it is. So we got these 2 bumps and then this part. So we're going to go find that back in take 5. Okay, on take 5. So it's around here somewhere. Here it comes. So that's the chord we were looking for. I'm zooming in with the command and right bracket. And I can move my mouse anywhere on these. So these are all grouped together. And I should tell you about the groups too. They're over here all tracks are selected now, which means it's gonna, when we do an edit, it's gonna do an edit across all 3 tracks. Let's do the cut there, and once again, it's Command E. So now we split it again. Now, I actually messed that up. I chopped off a little bit of that front off part, so I'm going to undo that. And I'm going to move my cursor a little bit further to the left. Do it again. Alrighty, so now we got that first chunk. So let's grab this bad boy and select it by clicking with the little hand key here. And now I can hold down the Command key and press C for copy. And then we're going to go and paste this where we're going to make the edit. Now, what I haven't done yet is I went to the end of my edit here. I'm going to create a new marker here for your edit. So the way you create markers in Pro Tools is you hit the Enter key on the keypad. So not the Return key, but the Enter key. You hit that, you get this window, and we can just type in your edit. And I think I already did this actually on the project you'll be working on, but I'm not sure. Anyway, so there you go. Now you got your edit, and the cursor's flashing right at that point. So now if we paste that part we've already copied, wait a minute, sorry. I was lying. You had to click here. And now we paste the part that we already copied. There it is. So there's the first chunk that we're using. All right, so let's just find the next piece. What you can do is scroll down here and find it, and there's 72 is the next number. So let's see what that is. I think it's this one right here. It's the last audio we recorded. So let's see what, we know that it starts on that chord, and then it comes in, it goes up to this quiet section, and then it hits that chord. So we just need that much from the last bit here. So let's find that loud chord at the beginning, which I think it actually starts right on it. Yeah, which is not great, but we'll do it there anyway. So I'm just moving my cursor there, splitting it, and then we're going to go all the way up to that dom, and that's pretty clear because you can see that spot right there. So I'm going to zoom in. That's it. So I'm going to move my mouse there, click on that, get the white flashing line, and then Command E splits it. I zoom out now. I can see the whole thing. I'm going to click down here, get the hand, click down here, hold down Command key and press C for copy. And by the way, you can do this up here if you need to, but it's good to know the key commands. All right, so we copied that, and now we're going to zoom out. And now we want to go to our edit over here. Now, cool thing you can do is if you notice that the marker number on your edit is 11. A shortcut in Pro Tools to get to whatever marker you want is to press the period on the number pad, not on the regular keyboard, but on the number pad, the period, and then the number 11, and then the period again. So if I press period 11 period, it jumps right to that marker, which is the beginning of my edits. Now, if I zoom in on that, we're actually at the beginning of the first chunk, which is not where we want to be. But to get to the end of this chunk, you can use the Tab key on the far left of the keyboard. You press that, and now you see it flashing at the end of the region. So we can now paste Command B, and now we're going to zoom in. It's going to put it to the center of the screen when I start zooming. I'm going to zoom in enough so that I can put a fade in there. Now I see that there's a little gap here, so what I'm going to do is close that up. I'm going to move this like that. Now you could literally just drag this over like that if you like. Another thing you can do is right-click and choose Snap to Previous. Either way will work, but now you're going to want to put a crossfade. So since you have the Smart tool engaged, you can move your mouse down to the very bottom here. It can be on any of these, and just click and drag. And the bigger you drag, the bigger the crossfade. So you don't want to make it too big, maybe about that big. Zoom out, and let's listen to our first edit. Okay, sounds all right. Pretty much just rinse and repeat. You're going to do the same thing. You're going to find the next bit, and you're going to copy, cut out the chunk you want, and you're going to tab over to the end and then paste that piece in, put the fade in, and until you're done. So that's your quick tutorial on how to do some editing in Pro Tools. Of course, there's a lot more to learn, but I just want you to get familiar with these basic commands, and we're going to learn more later. Thank you.